Are you ready to take full control of your physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Are you ready to experience great success in your life? Health Talk with Dr. Diane MD will teach you the tools and strategies to help you take control of your health and inspire you to live your best life. Now here is your host, Dr. Diane A. Thompson, MD.
You are listening to Health Talk with Dr. Diane MD, and my guest is Dana Ramos, and Dana is the creator of the Skin Regime concept and the author of the book, The Skin Regime, Boot Camp for Beautiful Skin. Now, let's shift gears a little bit, Dana. Let's now get into the specifics about this skin regime. What is the skin regime?
The skin regime, I called it regime, not regimen, because, first of all, and I thought a lot about this, regime and regimen can be used interchangeably. I researched this, and so there's some linguists who emailed me and said, why are you calling it the regime and not regimen? I said, well, in some dictionaries, they are used interchangeably. Also, because I like to think of this of women following this and men following this as we're our own regime. We're the skin regime. I have these T-shirts, and I call it Boot Camp for Beautiful Skin. And there's a military theme. You know, if you look at the cover of the book or on my website, I have it all done sort of in a military theme. It's the Skin Regime Boot Camp for Beautiful Skin, because boot camp. In the military, if you go to boot camp, 6 to 8 weeks later, you are in shape, you are looking good, and you are on your way. And I applied that same concept to the skin. 6 to 8 weeks of putting your skin through what I call boot camp. It works out your skin. You know, very simply, you're talking about a few minutes a day and one peel a week, which only takes about 5 minutes. And at the end of 6 to 8 weeks, you have really gotten your skin into shape. And then you go on into maintaining it very simply. So that's why I call it the skin regime. You're following a regime, you're part of the regime, and you're going through boot camp if you choose. I mean, some women, look, they're going to be people who have great skin, and they don't need to do anything, but they can still save a lot of money and learn some protection facts by reading this book, because like I said, one of the most respected dermatologists in the country signed off on this book and made sure everything I put in this book was accurate and safe and okay, and he explains why. He wrote the foreword to it, Dr. David Bank. And even if you have great skin and you don't need to transform your skin, there's some things you might not know about protecting your skin and how to keep it looking good longer. That's in that book. So that's why I call it the skin regime. And what it is explaining the cold, hard facts. I mean, if you don't want the truth, then don't read the book. If you want to be delusional and spend thousands of dollars on expensive products, don't read the book, because it's going to depress you. Because the fact is that you don't need to spend a lot of money. I talk about the products that are just complete baloney and why they're baloney, and how we've been fooled as consumers by the expensive beauty companies. And then I go into explaining what actually works. This is what doctors recommend. This is proven, not the stuff that maybe works, because there is a lot of stuff out there that people are looking at like, well, maybe this is good for you, or maybe that's okay for you. No, only the facts, only the stuff that really is effective is what I talk about in the book, because you don't want to waste any more time or money on things that might work. So I don't do that. We go with the facts. And also, Doctor, on my website, I have a tab, a section called Bull or No Bull, where I have guest doctors, and I'd love you to contribute a column at some point, write about some of the recent fads, and if it's bull or if it's not bull. For instance, a lot of people are getting a process called thermage. You know about that, right? It's
I know
some
that
kind
thermage.
of and they say it tightens your skin, and in 1 hour it's like having a facelift. Well, I went to a plastic surgeon, And in there, we write about thermage, bull or no bull, and lots of different subjects that we cover if something is actually effective or not. And it's always by a professional who knows what they're talking about, because I'm really, really dedicated to bringing the truth, the cold, hard truth of skincare and the beauty industry to people. The truth, and at the best price I can possibly bring it to them, which is why I price the book so low. I'm really, it's ridiculous, but I want to stick with that concept of lowest price and absolute truth of what really works and what doesn't. And that's what the skin regime is all about. And
are there
that's
any
why
particular
I think
group of people that are not able to practice this regime?
Well, if you have a skin disease, okay, if you have eczema or psoriasis, you really need to be under a doctor's care and get that cured up before, trying something in this book. If you have severe acne, I'm talking about really, a severe open wound. The skin regime is great for mild acne. Even moderate acne, it's really good for that. But if you have severe acne, you really should be seeing a skin doctor, a dermatologist. Get that fixed first, then come back. And the thing is, you don't need to suffer with psoriasis and eczema and severe acne anymore. They have so many wonderful new medications, and they're even using lasers these days to cure some of these skin diseases that used to be considered incurable. People would suffer for forever. Now, with some laser technology, it's really changing people's lives. The other thing is you can follow the skin regime if you're pregnant, but some of the products on there have not been determined if it's safe to use if you're pregnant or not. Now, let me tell you, I used all the products while I was pregnant, because I really didn't feel putting a little bit of something on my face was going to make a big difference. And they didn't. I had 3 healthy children. But because of lawsuits that drug companies and cosmetic companies, they're so afraid that, someone's going to sue them. The baby's born with a crooked toe. They're going to say, oh, it's because I used your medication. So they automatically say, don't use while you're pregnant. So that's pretty much the line I've taken in the book, is say, you know what, I don't want someone coming back saying maybe it was because I used this skin cream you told me about. If you're pregnant, come back after. You'll have skin issues to deal with after your pregnancy. So start the skin regime after your pregnancy. So that's usually it. If you have a disease, open wounds, or if you're pregnant, go ahead and wait till you're fixed up on that, and then follow the skin regime. That's the basic.
I would encourage listeners to do their due diligence and, speak with their health provider or your dermatologist before you start on any new routine that, perhaps your skin is naive to peels, as we're going to talk about them a little bit more. Speak to someone. You may be on medications that make you a little bit more sensitive, so get that cleared up before jumping on and doing anything.
And also, as with any new product, especially if you've had issues or allergies in the past, every product says test before using. And that goes with anything I talk about in the book, and with skin peels, which we do need to talk about. You should test it. Put it on your arm, maybe a little tiny bit on your jaw or on your neck, and wait several hours and see if you have any kind of allergy or allergic or strange reaction to it. It's just common sense. I always test everything before, anything new, because it turns out, remember we were talking about holistic and all natural? Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. I had a shampoo that was all natural, holistic, and essence of this and essence of that. It's the only thing in my life I ever used that gave me such a rash, such a horrific rash on my scalp and my back, and it was because it had extract of flowers and plants in it. All natural extract. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, guess what? I was allergic to those plants.
Yeah.
I didn't know it, but oh my gosh, the next day I woke up, I was just I didn't even know what had happened to me because I'd never had an allergy before. So it's always a good idea to test something new just to make sure before you pour it all over your face or something like that.
Let me ask you one more thing in terms of people
Sure.
who may practice this regime. What about men who shave? Sometimes there's a risk that they may be a little bit irritated from shaving. Could they participate in this?
It's just if they're going to do it, they should shave in the morning. Do the if they're going to use the peel. See, this is you're only talking about the peels. If they're going to use a Dove soap or lubricant, that's fine. But if you're going to try a peel, you really don't want to. Same with women, you don't want to wax right before. You want to do that in the morning or the day before. Or men, if they have the luxury of shaving in the evening, do the peel and then shave. Because when you shave, you don't believe, you don't realize you're
like an exfoliant,
you're creating
really.
little nicks.
Yeah,
you're exfoliating your skin. You're taking off some skin and you're actually nicking it. And so it's going to irritate if you put some peel solution on, right over freshly shaved skin. It's going to burn. Or use an electric razor, something that won't scratch the skin. So that's the only thing. And women, if you have a sunburn, or which you should never get, because sunscreen's so important. Don't wax, any hair or do anything like that before you put this on, because, you want your skin to don't have any open wounds. Don't get in a bar fight and then put this on. So
okay.
Let's clear up what
let's jump into the peels. Let's jump into the peels and see. So peels are a part of this routine, and I definitely have listeners who have done peels multiple times, and then there are others who really don't know too much about them. So share with us what are peels and how do they work?
Okay, there are a million of them out on the market now. I mean, you can go to Sephora and they'll say this peel and that peel. The ones usually in the stores right now are fairly mild. It's a good starter way to get it. You can go in and try a peel. They're very expensive usually because you've got your big name brand marketing going on there. It might be a good way to get an idea what one can feel like. The One for All peel, which is the Skin Regime, my new product, it's layerable. There's really nothing like it on the market. It's great because you can get a mild peel by putting one layer on and saying, can I tolerate a little more? And then you put another one on. You could say, maybe I could tolerate you go up to what your skin can tolerate. And what these peels do, if they're effective, like mine are, that have glycolic acid and mandelic acid, and it has just the tiniest little bit of something called TCA, which is remarkable in helping to work on a lot of skin issues like discoloration, uneven skin tone, fine lines. Using these peels, you're not going to, your skin's not going to peel off. It's not going to be like what you've maybe seen on TV where people get these very deep, intense chemical peels that really, are like burn victims, and then they grow new skin. In fact, most doctors aren't even doing those kind of peels anymore. They're using lasers. What these peels are called, and sometimes they're called lunchtime peels, there's no downtime. There's no real after effect. The very most you can expect after trying one is your skin will be a little pink. Some people like that. They like that it gives them a rosy glow, but that fades after a few minutes. And maybe, depending on how strong of a peel or how many layers you've put on, in my case, you might get some flaking. The skin will flake a little bit 3 or 4 days later, which is kind of great. That means you're really exfoliating. And the reason these are so wonderful, doing these kind of no downtime peels, is it's gentler on the skin. You don't have downtime. If you do one a week for 6 to 8 weeks, you can get the same effect of doing a much stronger one all in one blast. Do you see what I'm saying? In the past, women would go and they'd get a strong peel, they'd they'd have to hide for 10 days because their skin was oozing and everything. Well, the doctors figured out many years ago is that you can get pretty good results by doing it much over a longer period of time, but more mild. You can get even better results sometimes because you're not burning the skin. You're not causing, damage to the skin. They're actually very good for your skin. They do reach in. They do help build collagen and give you a lot of exfoliation. The Skin Cancer Organization, Skin Cancer Foundation, had an article about how doctors are using these kind of peels to help prevent and in some cases treat skin cancer because it exfoliates off cancer cells repeatedly. So it's really good for you to use these, even if you have good skin. Doing one once in a while is a pretty good way to get fresh. It's kind of like kind of giving yourself sort of a fresh boost. It's like scrubbing your skin without scrubbing it. The chemicals do the work. So over a period of 6 to 8 weeks, doing one a week at whatever level you feel comfortable with, that can really transform your skin. Very noticeable differences. But the most important thing I explain in the book is you really got to know what you're getting and what to stay away from. There are some things you can get on the internet that you really should not be using at home. They are really too strong. They are really not made for at-home use, and you can injure yourself. So the reason Dr. Bank was so eager to help me write this book was because he saw so many women injuring themselves with the harmful kind of peels that he said, let's teach them how to do it right with the good kind of peels, with the peels that won't harm them, that will really benefit them so they know what to do. It's like safe sex for the skin, doctor. You know what I'm saying? If women are going to, people are doing this anyway. They're going out there, they want to save money. They're going out there and saying, well, this says skin peel and it says strong, so I'm going to buy this and I'm going to put it on my face, and then they're hurting themselves. So we said, look, you're going to do it right. Do it right because, yeah, you will save money, but you need to know what you're doing, and that's what my book is all about. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, people can read the first 30 pages of my book free on my website. So if you do go to theskinregime.com and you want to just get kind of an idea of what's in it and all of that, see if it interests you, you can read the first 30 pages, no charge.
Listen to Health Talk with Dr. Diane MD for tools and strategies to live a healthy, happy, and successful life. For details, go to drdianethompson.com. That's drdianethompson.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dr. Diane A. Thompson. Are you ready to take control of your physical, emotional, and spiritual health? Are you ready to experience great success in your life? Join us for Health Talk with Dr. Diane MD every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Atlanta's Incredible Radio, AM 1570 WIGO, or listen live stream at WIGOAM.com.
You mentioned about the peels that are out there. It's surprising to me. I'll go on Amazon sometimes, and the percentage and the pH of the peels they have there are dangerous. And people are actually buying these.
They're dangerous. And my peel, the One for All peel, has built-in safety factor because it is layerable. You will put on a layer, and it'll be mild, and you might feel a little tingling. Maybe it'll feel a little warm, and you'll say, that's real mild. I think I'll try a second layer. And you can put on a second and then go, okay, maybe that's all I want. Whereas some of those dangerous ones that you can get on the Internet, because, look, you can get anything on the Internet, you know. You can even mail order a wife. Find yourself a wife or a husband on the Internet these days. But sometimes these women are buying things, and they're saying, well, if they're selling it, it must be okay. They put on their face, and then it's too late, because some of these, once you put on your face, you can't wash it off. It's like once it's on, it's like battery acid. It clings, and that's when they're hurting themselves, which is why I find it's so important that people know what to get, what to stay away from, what's safe, what isn't safe, because this is a good product. This is a wonderful thing. You know, to get one of these lunchtime or safe peels in a spa or a doctor's office costs about $150. And you need to do usually 6 or 8 of them to see really good effects, right? So that comes to, what, $1,000 or something dollars? Using an at-home skin peel, at least mine anyway, because I do have it so inexpensively priced, comes to about $3 or $4 a peel. That's it, $3 or $4 a peel versus $150. So no wonder women and men want to do this at home. Who wants to spend that kind of money, you know, and go to a salon and do it where, you know, you don't even know what you're really getting. At least if you buy the One for All peel or you buy something that you've educated yourself about, at least you know what you're getting.
And I'm going to ask you more about that particular peel in a second, but I wanted to just touch base on something that you talked about just a moment ago with the strong peels that are out there. I know some of my listeners are women and men of color, and this is especially important because I've seen where they'll use these peels and the skin will...
That's another...
Oh, my
yes,
goodness. The scarring and the hyperpigmentation.
Yeah, that's another thing. People of color have to be careful of which ingredients and how they use it and where they use it and all that. And that's something else, by the way. The One for All peel is safe for people of all colors. It will not change the color of your skin. It will help with some discoloration, you know, by evening out the skin tone. But it won't give you hyper or hypopigmentation at all. The ingredients in there are safe for all skin types. I was, you know, concerned about that. Also, I've just written an article that I will be posting soon that Dr. Bank also has input on about lasers. It used to be that people of color could not use lasers for hair removal or skin care. There are some new lasers that are safe, by the way, for people with darker skin. And so I just want to give you a heads up that pretty soon I will be posting that on my website and Facebook, probably in the next few days. So look for it if you're interested in finding out which lasers are okay for all different skin types. But yes, definitely with the peels, you know, people of color have to know what they're getting. I do know that if you go with the One for All peel from theskinregime.com, that it is safe for all skin types, and that was important to me because I do have a lot of people in India and Asia that are fans of the Skin Regime, and I hope they're listening right now. Hello. So I want it last night.
I used it last night, and so you want to know my experience? So I used 2 layers. I applied the first, and I thought it was mild. I've used peels in the past, so my skin is accustomed to it, although I haven't used any in a few years. So I wanted to start slowly, so I used 1 layer. Felt okay. I tried a second layer, and I said, well, let me see how that goes. And that was fine. Felt a little bit tingly. I washed it off. So one of the things I noticed, and I said I would ask you, I don't know if you're able to share this on the air, but I saw, I still have it, this glow that I'm not used to having after getting peels.
You have a glow?
I have a glow.
You're glowing.
It's a good thing.
I know that, that is typical. Usually, I know, I'm telling you, I have had a lot of bloggers blog about, the peel. And, and these are beauty bloggers who are very honest about it. And they're just amazed. Usually this is what happens, doctor. The day of and the next day, your skin general is going to look, if you didn't overdo it, if you did it just right like you did, your skin's going to look fantastic. You're going to be glowing. It's going to shine. It's really wonderful. Then, now, I'm giving you a heads up. In another couple of days, you might start flaking a little bit. that's the peeling. You won't be coming off in, like a sunburn, but you might get some flakes, like dandruff almost on the skin. That's the exfoliation phase. That'll last about 2 days, and all you do is just moisturize your skin. And then when that's finished, you're glowing again because now you've gotten rid of that old dead layer on your skin. So you have a couple of days of glow, then a couple of days of a little bit of flaking, a little bit of peeling, and then you have 3 or 4 more days of looking really great and glowing and all of that. And then you do it again. You always do it like every 7 days or so, and you do it once a week for 6 to 8 weeks, and it will give you more of that permanent glow because it really speeds up the exfoliation. And then after you finish the whole boot camp, the 6 to 8 weeks, then you go on maintenance, which is in the book, how you can maintain the new beautiful skin you've now achieved in boot camp. And you give yourself a peel usually about every 6 weeks, kind of a booster. And there are other products you can try that you might like Retin-A, which is a wonderful, wonderful product that everyone should use it. It's good for your skin. It helps reverse sun damage. And as you know, doctor, use sunscreen. You've got to protect your baby new skin.
So for the listeners, because we're getting close to the end of the show, we've talked about some of the myths out there on skincare. We've talked about some of the details of the skin regime, and you're going to share with us information as to how they can get your peel. Or some people are using other peels. I won't force them to use something else if they're happy with what they're doing. But about 6 weeks of weekly peels, and then a maintenance phase and protecting with sunscreen. Correct?
Yeah, well, you should always wear sunscreen. I explain that in the book, and we should have talked more about that. Sun is the worst thing you can do for your skin. I love to go out in the sun. I do. I use sunscreen. I love beach vacations. I use sunscreen. That's the way it goes. If you go to The Skin Regime, that's REGIME.com. It has all the information. You can read the first 30 pages. You can enter my contest. You can go to the products page. You can order a sample size of the One for All peel. I do it so you can try it out like you did. I sent you a sample size, right?
Yes.
The value of buying the 2-ounce size is still great. That's enough to give you all of boot camp and a year's worth of maintaining it. So it's an incredible deal. At some point I will raise prices, but these are introductory prices. And I am running a contest. You can go to my website. You can enter the contest. You can knock yourself out. Have a great time. Read all the articles. Read all the myths, read the news, see tanning moms before and after pictures and other before and after pictures. I have tons of before and after pictures on the website. None of them are touched up. They're all as you see it.
And my final question for you is our tip of the week. And so what is the single most important thing that you recommend for people to ensure that they have beautiful skin at any age?
Full spectrum sunscreen. I like the inexpensive one you can find in the drugstore, L'Oreal Sublime Sun. Full spectrum, 50 SPF. Doesn't give me acne because some of them will make you break out. This will not make you break out. It comes in a spray and it comes in a cream. Use that. That's the single best thing. Second best tip, stop smoking.
Absolutely. It is true.
Okay.
It is true.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. And share your website one more time with us.
theskinregime.com. You can find everything you need there.
And the book is very informative. And as I said, I've tried the peel. I will be trying it again because I really like the results so far. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted as to what happens with that.
I'll send you some more. It'll be my pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much, Dana. The book is called The Skin Regime, Boot Camp for Beautiful Skin, and that was Dana Ramos, and I thank her so much for being on Health Talk. All right, and there you have it, another week of good information. I thank you so much for listening in. For those of you who have been following me, you know that this show was actually chosen as a staff pick So I'm very excited about that. I want to share with you the quote of the week. This one comes by way of Mark Twain, and it says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowlines, catch the trade wind in your sails, explore, dream, discover. In other words, live your life and enjoy it to the best of your ability. I will see you guys next week on the broadcast. Remember that your health is your wealth, so please do something healthy this week. And I hope to see many of you at my talk this Wednesday at the Long Island University Wellness and Recreation Center, where I'll be talking about stress. Again, please come to my Facebook page at facebook.com/Dr. Diane A. Thompson. I'll keep you abreast of all the latest information, and I will see you guys next week. I look forward to seeing you, and thank you for all your support, and take good care. Bye-bye, everyone.
You have been listening to Health Talk with Dr. Diane, MD, on 1570 AM WIGO. Please tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the best in inspirational health information. If you have missed any part of this broadcast, would like to find out more about Dr. Diane A. Thompson, or would like to receive her ebook on stress, please go to drdianethompson.com. That's drdianethompson.com. And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Dr. Diane A. Thompson. Remember, your health is your wealth, so do something healthy for yourself. Have a great evening.